Welcome to You and I See Different, episode 50. And I bring my brother, my compadre, my hermano, Mr. Brandon Lillavois. Uh, and
No, brother, thank you
yeah,
for having me.
I'll let you talk and
Thank you for having me on the
you
50th
do it.
episode. You know,
Say
I
what's
love
up to
what
the
you're
people,
doing, brother.
hermano.
I admire the commitment to it, and I'm ready to get right to it.
Let's get right to it. Okay, so pretty much what I'm going to talk about today, what we're going to be talking about today is pretty much all about stress and how we can manage this and honestly live with purpose. I think that if we can learn how to manage our stress, we can definitely live a purposeful
Mm.
life with intention. So me and Mr. Hermano Brandon have been on a long journey, and I just wanted to let you guys know that this is going to be an interesting topic. And thank you again for tuning in. And let's keep the ball rolling. All right, so we'll just jump right into it. I just wanted to go ahead and give a little bit of a background. I know my people know, but what really allowed me to shift paradigms throughout this whole entire journey was, of course, consistency on working on myself. And I wanted to go ahead and bring in my hermano to elaborate more on this because he definitely has a couple of years in this beautiful life ahead of me, and he's definitely mastered paradigms in women health. So we definitely want to go ahead and elaborate a little bit about this. So what are you thinking about stress, and has it uh, how has it shaped your mindset to be able to realize that living
Yeah, brother.
relaxed
Well, like you said, I have a couple years in
is
this
the way, bro?
game, being born into a stressful situation. When I was 11 months old, my baby brother was diagnosed with some complications. Um, and I have really happy parents, so I saw them navigate the process while also seeing other families navigating their processes. And from that point on, brother, I've just been obsessed with the idea of managing the stress because I see that it's everything, whether someone's alone, raising family, working, especially now in our new
Very
era, in this new world that we live in, it's just everything, bro.
true. I really think that it's interesting like how we've been
hmm
raised uh, in this survival mode instinct in a way, right? To be able to make it throughout the years and look back on it and say, wow, I had to go through all of this in order for me to achieve
Absolutely.
the just a lifestyle of freedom, honestly. So like I think that is extremely like underrated and under talked, of course, because of all these distractions that we have in this modern times.
hmm
Humans can't really like focus on one thing. It's been interesting, and I just wanted to throw in there that always an advocate to how to manage stress. A lot of people say, "Well, how do I do that? How do I do that?" A lot of people don't like the term stress management as well, and I think that it's more about, if you may, right? Or continuous routines and habits
hmm
that can break us free from certain paradigms. And I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what is your intake a uh, on a level of just you know like how would you
I think
allow some,
that stress
or what would be
management
your
starts with
approach to somebody to
understanding.
manage
And I
stress?
had somebody
Honestly,
on the table
this is
yesterday
it.
who shared with me that since his whole life, adopted at 3, and says that probably since about 6, been living in survival mode. And now this person is about to celebrate their 57th birthday. So living in stress and survival mode for the last 50 years, I think the biggest thing is that most people don't understand that that's actually happening to them. So with that being the beginning, not even understanding the situation, it's like, how do you work on something that you don't know is going on? Because for a lot of us, it's just life. And I know we've talked about this 1,000 times. When you hear
Yeah.
people describe stress, they're like, well, that's just life. That's just life. That's how life goes. And I think the really cool thing is we live in this modern era where we
Yeah.
have these tools. Like we have this, like, wait a minute, I can choose wait a minute, I have resources and conveniences that can really make it possible for me to manage what I'm feeling. And I know it used to be really popular, maybe a couple decades back, it started shifting, but it used to be really popular to just, I'll pop off. I'll be the person. Oh, I have no this. I have no patience. I have no time for that. I just don't play with me. Whereas now, a lot of people want to be in their soft girl era. They want to be like, no, I want to be regulated. The term nervous system regulation, emotional regulation, stress management. Yeah, we all kind of know the tools these days. And I think that the biggest piece for me is just going a step further from knowing to using, because that's that little, one of my coaches calls it 2 millimeter distinctions. It's that little 2 millimeter distinction between knowing it and using it. And I think that's the biggest thing right now. Because we all know, everybody could tell you.
Yeah, I think it's a lack of like action pretty much, and honestly just sticking to the plan that they know that is convenient for them, right? So it really is like interesting because when you do work on so many bodies as well, you can tell how tense shoulders, neck,
Mm-hmm.
all of the body parts, honestly, are very just congested and stagnant. And it is built on more so like their daily lifestyle, if that's work, if that's the children from school, if it's sitting at that desk for hours and if it's not being able to get out into nature as well, to be able to distract the mind and to be able to feel humane again, honestly. And I think that definitely there's been so many different
Mm-hmm.
cross contaminations in the brain, honestly, that have distorted how we're supposed to live and has just suggested like a facade in front of people's faces. And it's interesting to be able to help people move out of this like this like this. I think here,
I'm in Costa Rica, so I got to make sure stuff's working. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, so you know what? If you can hear me, I'm just gonna talk and then I'll figure out the audio thing in a second. Okay, I hear you. So I think I'm back online. Okay, so this is the technology part, right? I'm all, we're across the world. So the thing for me, brother, if you can hear me properly, the thing for me is, we there's just so much, right? And I mentioned earlier having someone on the table. We've been doing massage. Really, it's body work. It's therapeutic, targeted, specific body work. And we've both been taking notes and we've been sharing our notes and we've been working with people from all over the world. And we've seen these same patterns showing up. Like you mentioned, it's in the neck, it's in the shoulders. And a lot of young ladies will tell you, or every woman will tell you, oh, yeah, I carry my stress here and here. They know the spots. But feeling all these bodies over the years and seeing the consistency in those same areas just congested and inflamed and tense and frustrated,
you know,
and then seeing how that translates to someone's lifestyle and their routines and their stress levels. And you used a phrase that I really like, pulling someone out of that state really shows you what is possible in this life. And it shows you that if you were to use some tools, I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying it's not easy. Everyone's situation is going to be different, everyone's definitions are going to be unique to them. But I think we can all agree that it is possible and that there is an ability. We have the awareness that there is an ability these days that someone can get out of their stressful state. And if they can't get completely out of it, they can work and do some steps toward it. I know a lot of people are engaged in different tools to either scale down stress or figure it out in a second. But what I'm
yes,
trying to get at is the fact that we do have the ability to monitor and to address and adjust our stress. And the way we can do it, and seeing the commonality over all the groups, it leads back to what we're saying, brother, with taking action and building routines. I hope I'm making it clear, because it is just, like I said, I am obsessed with it, bro. We see it every day, you
Yeah.
know?
And you definitely make it clear. I just wanted to add in there that it goes from um at this point it just becomes self-will. Like, we are facilitators at the end of the day. We can't actually uh make decisions for people or choices for people. So this is very important for my people to understand that the choices need to be made and the action has to be done after every prayer, faith talk, journal, meditation, whatever you got going on, to be able to centralize yourself and be present. Um, Now, well, just put action behind it. Just don't leave it up in the air. Just don't leave it to for us, it's to God. We don't want to leave it up to God. Yes, He blesses us with what we got, but we want to be able to put in action to what He's already given us and continues to give us on a daily day basis, especially just waking up. If you want to take it away from just the waking up aspect and being so privileged to wake up, and you want to focus more on, look, you have a house, you have a car, you have a check that comes in every single 2 weeks, or if you don't, then you're receiving whatever the case may be. But I just want to let you know that if you're alive, you're blessed, and that's it, period. So the decision has to be yours, and managing your stress is extremely important. Just a quick fact, at least 90% of what me and my hermano here, if he can agree with me on this, at least 90%, that's me being possibly a
Yeah.
little too generous. but 90% of the people that we have actually like encountered, or our study has really just turned to lack of, right? It's turned to lack of physical activity and lack of being patient throughout your whole entire physical activity routine. You don't have to just destroy your body. Give it some rest, and this is where the relaxation part comes in. So if you are trying to manage your stress, this is the cure, people. This is the cure.
Hmm.
The cure is to relax. The cure is to take your time. The cure is to be kind to yourself. Kind to yourself. Abuelitas and abuelitos always say, ay, mijo, cuídate, que Dios te bendiga, take care.
Hmm. Hmm.
Family members say, I hope you have fun, take care. Even if
Take
they hit you
care.
with the boom, boom, boom. But still, they still give you the uplifting joy that they feel that you need to be able to move on. And in their ways, they say that they love you, that they care for you, and that they want for you to be safe, period. So,
Absolutely.
me bringing this on, I just wanted to say, relax. So I'll let my guy go in on relaxation, and what you think about is just a quick 1, 2, 3 for some quick relaxation if they need it.
Absolutely. I think the quick 1, 2, 3, brother, you mentioned it. You said behind every faith act, behind every prayer, behind every meditation, back it up with some action. And that really kind of is the 1, 2, 3, because they do teach us to be completely, fully locked in and reliant on faith. And that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree with that. This morning, in the shower, I'm like, you know what? The real reminder on all this is God, bro. I put on my little
Yeah.
music, grab my shower, and I'm like, it's God. That's the beginning and the end. And my old pastor says something that I really like. He says, partner with God, give God something to work with. And then the second one that people are probably going to like even more is from Beyonce, who says, I'm the type to go pray for it and then go get what I pray for type game. So I think that's really everything, brother. And backing it up with some, because I was going to use the word intention, and I want to use this very intentionally. Backing it up with because having the intention to do it and then doing it are two different things. And
Yeah.
I see a lot of ladies who feel like they're in a clear state of mind because they're like, no, I'm not running around. I have a clear idea with what I want to do. And I say, yes, you do have a clear idea with what you want to do. Your intention is there. It's the logistics and the way you go about it after you make the intention that are the real difference. So
Hmm.
having the action, intention is a very strong and great word right now. And having the intention backed up with the ways. So the 1, 2, 3 for
Hmm.
me are going to first and foremost backing up your faith with the action. 2 is going to be taking that intention, and 3 is going to be backing that intention up with some relaxed ways of operating, some relaxation
Okay.
built into the routine with a little bit of extra preparation potentially. And I know everyone doesn't have all day, but this is a long game. This is a long conversation. I'm not saying to change
Hmm.
your whole life tonight. I'm saying we can do this over the next 2, 3, 10 months, a year, you know?
Yeah.
So I just want to
Yes.
piggyback on what you said, bro, because it's everything. It's everything. It really is. It really is. And I want to add some clarity because we hear all these words. You got to meditate, you got to pray, you got to do this, you got to do that. And you do, those things are phenomenal. They will put your brain in a
Yeah.
different state. It's just
Yeah.
taking that brain. I have a guy who I work with, kind of as a mentor, and I always say to him, what are you going to go do with all that energy? So taking all these pieces and then executing it in a way that you can still be relaxed.
Okay. All right. And that is just literally like I think that is phenomenal, and thank you for sharing that because that definitely comes from a lot of work. So 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 yeah, there it is. There you have it. Some 1, 2, 3 steps and how for it to be the cure. Again, this isn't a get rich or get rich next day scheme or whatever the case, whatever the saying is. Get rich.
It's
What is it?
quick.
Get rich quick scheme. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
not that. This
quick.
is not fulfill your health quick. That is what medication is for, and that is what pills are for. So if you want a band-aid, then you possibly would head that route. And that's okay. No judgment at all. If that's what you want to do and lean on, then that's okay. It's easier to just pop one, pop two, and call it a day and keep going and still get the same headache the next day. But still, we're gonna leave it out of there. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna go down that route or that rabbit hole, and we're just gonna stay focused on what we have
Hmm.
here. So manage your stress, stay physically active, and we'll talk about that on the next one. All right, here we go.
Hmm. Yes, sir.